guys, welcome to the channel. My name is Carlos and I go by Ohmnivalent on Instagram. And today I'm very excited to show you how I use Dehancer to add that extra cinematic depth to my photos and videos after I have already finished with the color grading. Now, we won't be diving into the specifics of the color grading process itself, but I do offer one-on-one sessions where I can teach you how to achieve these colors easily. If you are interested, feel free to reach out to me through email or Instagram. So to clarify, the colors that you see in the footage and photos are not created by Dehancer only. Instead, I use Dehancer at the end to enhance the texture and feel of an already graded photo or video. When I edit videos, I use the Dehancer plugin in DaVinci Resolve and the plugin in Final Cut Pro. When I edit photos, I use the Lightroom plugin, though you can also find plugins for Photoshop and Premiere. Dehancer is all about replicating the texture of analog film in your digital work. It offers a range of tools and effects that bring out the desired qualities of film, like timeless film grain, the warm glow of halation, soft highlights of bloom, film damage, and even the pulsating change of film breath. It is perfect for anyone who loves the classic nostalgic look of film. Before we dive in, I want to mention that Dehancer is not paying for this video, nor do they have any influence on the content at all. I received a license in exchange, but I've been using Dehancer for the last few months. I use it in about 50% of my video work and around 90% of my photos. Now that we got that out of the way, let's dive into how I use Dehancer in DaVinci Resolve. But like I said, you can use Final Cut Pro or Premiere as well, and Lightroom and Photoshop for photos. Let's use this clip that you saw at the beginning of the video. And rule of thumb, if you want your videos to look cinematic, make sure the scene already looks cinematic even before you begin to color grade it. Granted, New York City is a cheat code for anyone with a camera, because a lot of New York City already looks like a movie. Alright, so this shot is a good example because it has a good composition, cool rain reflections, several light sources of different colors, pleasing movement, depth, and an interesting subject. So after I complete my color grading, which involves a super simple node tree, nothing too technical or complex, I drag Dehancer to the second to last node. It is important to place Dehancer toward the end of your node tree for the best results. I leave the input set to Rec 709 since the footage has already been color graded. Then in the profile options, you'll find a wide variety of film profiles. These profiles differ in intensity, color, and style, so it is worth exploring them to find the one that best suits your vision. Some of my favorite profiles for nighttime scenes are Fujicolor Suspiria 1600 and Fujifilm Aerocolor 4 125, but every single one of them has their own special look and purpose. For this example, let's go with Konica Minolta VX400 Super and we will raise the pool a little bit. Moving on to Film Developer, I typically leave this untouched as I prefer to handle contrast and color boost within DaVinci Resolve. Next up is Film Compression, one of my favorite tools as it allows you to control the intensity and thickness of the highlights, adding texture and depth to your images. When used creatively, it can dramatically enrich the feel of your footage, especially in daytime scenes. So let's activate Film Compression and keep it at its default setting. Now we come to Expand. Like Film Developer, I leave Expand alone since I adjust whites and blacks before applying Dehancer. However, if you're doing all of your color grading within Dehancer, Expand can be a very valuable tool. We will increase the white point to 120 because I think it mutes the whites nicely in this scene. The Print Profile option is a very powerful feature that can completely transform the look of your footage. It is intense and can be amazing, but it requires a lot of experimentation to find the perfect fit. Sometimes choosing a new profile may require you to go back to your editing software so that it integrates better with the new look. We will go with the Kodak 2383 Print Film Profile and increase the color density to make the colors richer. Colorhead is another tool worth exploring if you're doing all of your color grading in Dehancer. However, since we already set our colors and tones, we'll skip it for now. Film grain is where things get really interesting. Dehancer's film grain is among the best I've used. With a variety of profiles and the ability to create custom settings to fine-tune the grain, it's definitely one of the strongest features of Dehancer. For this shot, we'll go with the 65mm, just enough grain to add texture, but not too much that it becomes distracting. Next is Halation, which is also one of the top assets of this plugin and honestly one of my favorite ones. As many of you know, Halation creates a soft bleed around the edges of highlights in your image, giving your footage an organic, aesthetically pleasing look. We'll use the 65mm setting and apply it very delicately, as too much halation can overwhelm the image. Bloom is another excellent tool, adding a dreamy quality to your footage, similar to the effect that you get with vintage lenses or filters like the Pro Mist. We'll apply it very lightly. For a more dramatic archival feel, I often use film damage. This effect adds realistic dust, stains, scratches, and even hair to your footage, mimicking the imperfections found in processed film. We'll definitely apply it in this scene. Film breath is the effect that increases the vintage look by simulating the fluctuations in color, temperature, and contrast between the frames. This was a common defect in old film caused by various factors such as emulsion coating inconsistencies and camera shutter instability. We'll turn it on. Gate weave introduces a subtle shake, replicating the mechanical movement of a film strip. Lastly, we have overscan. This feature offers several gate types, shapes, and perforations, altering the aspect ratio to give your footage that authentic motion picture film scan appearance. So now that we have all of that, we're going to take a look and compare the before and after. And there you have it, folks. Whether you're working on videos or photos, Dehancer provides a powerful suite of tools to give your digital work that classic, timeless film look. It adds a subtle yet impactful texture that elevates your projects to the next level. Now you might be wondering if Dehancer is still worth getting, since DaVinci Resolve now has its own film emulation effects. And to be frank, I believe both are excellent tools. However, Dehancer still has a few distinct advantages that make it worth looking into, especially if you have the means to get it. But if you're sticking to DaVinci's film emulation, you can still achieve great results. One thing is for sure, I love this plugin tremendously and I use it in tons of my work, in one way or another. I'm also very excited because I have a lot of YouTube videos coming soon featuring collaborations with some incredible companies and their amazing products. So please stay tuned and check them out soon. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to like and comment and subscribe for more content on photography, videography, and all things related to visual storytelling. And remember, if you're interested in learning more about color grading process or how to use Dehancer in depth, feel free to reach out to me for one-on-one sessions. Until the next one.